And we are live. Welcome back to season 3 of Movie Guys Improvise. You are listening to
Chill with Realms.
Jurassic Mark.
and Faerhad Targaryen. We have finally made it to season 3 of this podcast. If you folks haven't already, go ahead and check out our season 2 recap. And without further ado, I want to jump right into what we have in store for the premiere episode for this season. We're going to be covering the first few episodes of the anime Re:Zero, Starting Life in Another World. And this was Chill with Realm's choice. He has his own channel on YouTube with a bunch of anime content, which I will be continuing to link in the description. Realms, correct me if I'm wrong, the compilation that you had us watch was about 6 episodes of season 1 of Re:Zero, correct?
About 6, and then I put like a little portion of 7 in there.
Cool. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what the anime is and why you chose this as the episode for today.
All right, so just a brief description. We got my man Subaru. He's in a convenience store in the middle of the night, and he walks outside and he blinks his eyes, and all of a sudden he's in broad daylight in a totally different, seemingly universe. He gets to meeting a few different people throughout the day, some that are going through some issues, and he wants to help them solve them. Character Emilia, she lost something very important. He helps her try to track it down, and by the end of the day, he ends up dying. And you would think, okay, that's the end of the story. But no, that's the whole point of the story. He resets back to the beginning of the day, and then he has to figure out the right compilation of events in order to get through the day. And if he doesn't, he gets set back to a certain checkpoint.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of what the story is in this anime. And I think this was pretty cool. And it's interesting and it's cool to get into the world of anime because, as I've told you before, the only animes I have really been in the world of and the gist of were, of course, Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, with some Rurouni Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho thrown in there. So this is the first new anime that I'm getting into. This premiered in 2016, so it's fairly new. It's about 4 years old, but it's had around some time. There's a complete season 1. I don't know if there's a second season, but we're covering just a few episodes of the first season. And I'll also link in the description the link that you have for our audience to be watching this. I'm going to go straight into this and first name like what I liked right off the bat and what I didn't like. So just right off the bat, what I liked was how there was some level of world building. I wish there was a little more, but I'm guessing there will be more world building, like in terms of explaining what this other world is that Subaru became a part of. The characters were also quite interesting. I don't think any of them were all that one-dimensional. They had their own personalities. Now, what I didn't really like, and this is not just a thing exclusive to this anime, it's more really a complaint I have with anime and video games as well, are some of the outfits that the female characters were wearing. One of the first antagonists of the show was a witch character called Elsa, and her outfit just seemed, I don't mean to be rude by saying this, but just kind of slutty. That was her, and also the character Felt, who also seemed like she was wearing an outfit that was kind of slutty, to be honest. And it's even more disturbing after she reveals that she's like 15 years old. I don't like seeing characters, especially female characters in anime or whatever, having to dress like that. And like I said, this isn't something unique to this anime. I've seen it in other animes, and I've also seen it in video game culture as well. It's never really been something that I approve of. Now, that's not a mark against the characters themselves, just a design choice that doesn't really vibe with me.
Yeah, I get you. Like they definitely do splash that in a lot of different shows. Like even Dragon Ball, like way back when they first started Dragon Ball, they had a scene where Bulma was flashing Master Roshi, and she's a teenager, barely a teenager.
Yeah. That's infamous. I remember the scene you're talking about, and it's an infamous scene of Dragon Ball. So yeah.
So
Well,
I
I was
totally
wondering
get
how
that.
like Elsa fights with that plunging neckline. Like I kept thinking she was gonna need to break out like a roll of duct tape or something while she was fighting that other guy.
Oh
But
no.
I joke, but
Yeah. Elsa
or is
was
that the villain's the one the assassin lady's name?
The Bow Hunter,
The
Elsa.
Bowel Hunter. Yeah, that's a great description, by the way.
Yeah, that's her, Elsa.
Okay. Not to be confused with the Disney princess.
Right, definitely
Mm,
not. Totally different character. The same name. So yeah.
she wanted that little piece that they had, and she was not ready to let it go.
Yeah.
Heyo, let's go.
What was the little thing that Emilia
I
had?
believe they, I believe they called it an insignia.
Yes, the insignia. That's what she needs because she wanted to, I guess, kind of move up in her world in terms of ranking or royalty. I think that's what she needed it for.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, at least that's what it signifies, but I don't know if that was the purpose of it for her because she was trying to retrieve it for someone. She said.
Oh, I get it. Okay. So she just wanted to have it on her person so that she can just have it for whatever the purpose is. Having it stolen, period, was her problem.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So the character Subaru, our protagonist here, I find him to be kind of relatable because he's a gamer. I'm a gamer. Can understand that. That's cool. And he has sort of a happy-go-lucky personality. I liked that they showed he wasn't really a coward. He was definitely standing up for himself, and he was trying to figure out what was going on in the world that he was in. And I was mentioning earlier how I wanted there to be a little bit more world building because I remember in the opening of the show that he was walking into this bar and these humanoid characters that looked kind of alien or animal-like were saying this bar is for demi-humans only or something. And after hearing them say that, I'm like, okay, so this world obviously is an alternate universe or just a different planet from planet Earth because it's not just humans on this planet. So I was hoping they would do a little more exposition as to what exactly the world is, but they didn't really do that in these 6 episodes. I'm guessing they would be doing that at some point later on in the season or in season 2. But if they don't explain it at all, it's going to leave me like scratching my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I've gotten a little bit past where you guys have seen so far, and where I've gotten so far, they still haven't explained a lot of things, like
Hmm.
how he got there to begin with, or anything about maybe his family, more details about him.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
still a lot of questions.
Did you finish season 1 or you're still like not completed the season yet?
I have not completed the season yet.
Got it. Okay. All right. So we'll get to the episodes you compiled together in a moment. JM, question for you, because I don't know if I have asked you this yet. How well versed are you in like the world of anime in general? Have you watched animes before, or is this something new for you? Tell us about your experience with anime.
Well, it's pretty new to me on the whole. I've watched a few of the Miyazaki movies. I haven't really watched any serialized anime outside of maybe Pokemon. But with that said, I don't feel like a complete novice because I'm actually really into Japanese kaiju, which is like Japanese monster movies like Godzilla and Gamera. And like weird as it sounds, I kind of recognized a lot of the same beats, a lot of the same brand of humor you see in both. And both mediums sort of evolved out of necessity, as I understand it, but that's a whole nother can of worms. But to answer your original question, no, I haven't seen that many anime yet, but I quite liked this one, I must say.
That's very cool. You mentioned that you are definitely into Japanese film, and I guess because, it's the same culture that's been doing film and anime, you're definitely going to see like overlapping themes and ways in which the story is presented. So that's cool
Oh
to
yeah,
hear.
like not to get too sidetracked, but there were